Hi and welcome to another edition of the Women's Day special on Bob's Radio. This is Bob Talk and with me is Shilpi Choudhury, a very famous designer from, I think this is the word, how do you say it, haute couture? Is that how you pronounce it, ma'am?
It's haute couture.
Haute couture. I think I used to make fun of one of my friends who was in fashion designing. Say, what is this haute couture? Because of Fashion TV back in the day. Of course, we didn't watch it for all the wrong reasons. And thank you so much for coming by. It's an absolute pleasure to have you around.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.
And you're not just a fashion designer, you're a fashion historian. What is this like?
The fashion historian is because my grounding is actually I'm trained to be a professor, teaching the histories, art and architecture in a college and a university. But I branched out to this particular field of design just because there was some personal, requirement for the family that I had to bring in some extra, moolah home. So I thought, like from college shows and all, I thought, let me try my hand in corporate shows, and I started delving in design, and yeah, here I am today. No turning back on that.
There's of course no turning back from that because we know the amount of awards you won. The list is endless. Now, usually I don't keep anything in front of me when I'm doing an interview, but since the credits are so much, I said, okay, let me just go through this. So there is you with these kind of records that you hold, over 3,500 national international shows and shoots to your credit. International Arab Award, the National Award, Women's Achiever Award twice, the Nirbhaya Bravery Award as a design activist by Nirbhaya's parents. Also received Innovation Designer Award, Coco Chanel Award, Plato Award as fashion mentor, and of course you mentored over 250 odd MNCs across the country. These credits, they don't come easy. I mean, the kind of things that you've done in a fashion industry that is very robust in terms of competition. You have too many people and very few names that come up. And there is hardcore competition. Especially when you're from Bangalore, you are not going to get the names like, the ones in Bombay or Delhi do. So how has it been? How's the journey been for you? What is it like? What is the spark that this whole fashion thing to start for you?
I think you missed out one, my latest award, that is the Strong Women Award. And I would answer your question that how I survived in this competitive field, and it's highly aggressive field, I should say, and very difficult. The students are in a fashion institute, say out of 100 students, I think only 5 make it. So it's a very tough industry. And I received the Strong Women Award, I think because I'm strong. So you have to be strong to survive. And when I say strong, I mean facing all the challenges. People try to put you down. They try their best to put you down. They will put you down for some time. But my thing is, you put me down for a while, I'll come back stronger. So then what will you do? So this has been my mantra for my life, and that is I've been following. My designs are never run of the mill because I don't want to do what others are doing. Otherwise, there's no difference between me and them. And my specialization is, my signature is haute couture, that is high fashion, which is on the lines of Met Gala, which is very, very new to the Indian fashion industry. And the other concept that I'm trying to trend in India is androgyny, the concept of beautiful men in skirts, men with makeup, sweet, beautiful looking men. So this is the one that I'm working on. And I have done a lot of work on this as of now. And so these are the two genres that I'm working in the fashion industry right now.
Well, I like the way you said or rather spoke about the strength of yours because it seems like there have been times where you've been knocked out by people around, by situations around, and you get to pull yourself back together. And also this androgyny, I'm going to come to that as well. And also, before going to all these things, the biggest thing that I have is about haute couture. Of course, we've heard about it. We've seen like shows based on this. But in general sense, ma'am, like a layman, I'm asking you this question. When you see the kind of attires or the designs that people walk on the ramp with, these are not clothes people wear in general on a day-to-day basis. So, what are these designed for? Just for the ramp?
Your question, this question I've been asked upteen number of times, by the different media. The thing is, there are two categories of fashion.
Right.
One is couture, that is wearable. What you're talking, where you and I are wearing, it's couture. Okay. Now, if you see me today, I am not in normal couture. I'm in between haute couture and couture. I'm in par dressing. I'm in a par dressing mode.
Okay.
So this is also another genre that is slowly opening up. Like when you come with a bang. That is called par dressing. Now, as I was talking about couture and haute couture, couture is nothing but what you wear in day-to-day life activities and all. Haute couture is nothing but drama in design. It's a costume play. It's a costume drama. Now, when you see drama, when you go and see cinema is what you can say. It is 50 fiction and 50 reality, or sometimes it changes also, the ratio changes. So like when you see cinema, you don't say, ki, oh my God, when you see fantasy, that is not life, right? It is not. So haute couture is nothing but fantasy. You want
So, you're
to
saying
live.
it's also kind of a cosplay?
It's a cosplay also. It is a cosplay. I have also done cosplay. Maleficent I have worked on. And yes, cosplay. It is all about mythology, about fantasy, about what you cannot have in your day-to-day life, that you live and seek pleasure, art for art's sake, purely for the sake of art. It need not be worn in everyday's, day-to-day activity. It is just a beauty that you enjoy.
But do people actually wear this sometimes
They
apart
do.
from the
They
ramp?
do. That's what I said. I am mostly working on this haute couture on Met Gala lines. Now, when you see the film festivals that happen, not in India, I'm talking about internationally, everyone is in an attire that you got to think, oh my God, what a beautiful piece of art this is. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. It gives you a fantastic feel, when you see something and you learn, oh my God, even I would like to do something like this. So it's basically, you get rejuvenated when you see this. So that is what. And so people do wear. And as I told you, I'm mostly into corporate shows. All the categories of people have modeled for me in corporate. It can be from the assembly, people who are into assembly line, to the mid-managerial category, to the managerial category, to the directors, and also the CEOs. All of them have walked for me. And they have worn my clothes. And most of them, I've given them the haute couture look. Let me tell you one thing. The corporate employees, they are not models. They're absolute non-models. I groom them. I do the show direction for them. And at the end of the day, they wear my attire, my makeover, walk the ramp in one of the,
One of the
venues.
annual days or
Or
whatever.
the annual days.
Their respective corporate shows.
Now, what is commendable is those people, they don't know M of modeling because they're absolutely in a different profile. Imagine just a 5 or 6 days of my grooming, they can beat any professional model. I can vouch for it. Why? Because they get into the thing, and when I try androgyny on them, they wear skirts. My recent show was with Samsung, and they were all those guys. They wore my skirts, the skirts with the blazers and the Lambani jackets and all they wore, and they were head turners. They became the showstoppers following the androgyny genre. So what I'm saying is, people don't. Initially, they'll be, oh my God, what is coming in? But when they get into the get-up, into the makeover, they feel so proud about themselves. And instantly, they become celebrities in their organizations.
Right.
This is the best part. So what happens? It gives them a break from the monotony of their life. It rejuvenates them bring them back into the work with a double force. So this is what it does to them.
Right. That is again,
So
you know,
it's-
breaking the monotony.
Yeah,
Agreed
it's
in terms of
healing.
what you do.
It's healing. It's healing.
Right. And well, that is as far as, you know, what you do as a mentor, what you do as a designer and stuff. Now, coming to androgyny, this androgyny part of it, your concept is brilliant. Like, you know, in terms of having men wear skirts, it's not about men not wanting to wear skirts. Today, we live in a society where there is also going to be heterosexual men, which means we are open to trying new things in terms of fashion. But there will be a few people who will say, what is this? You're wearing pink. You know, you'll get these kind of thoughts coming in through. But of course, you can't have an ideal world. You'll have the left and the right. You'll have the positives and the negatives. But just to understand from your point of view, if I see another man, right, and I don't like watch a man with makeup, I don't like to watch a man in a sari with a hairy chest. Maybe that's my way of looking at it. Should I or not have an opinion to talk about what I feel about that?
I don't think
Why, ma'am?
you should not talk about it, because here what you eat, what you wear, it's your personal right. I have no business to complain about it and to make a comment about it. If I'm doing that, I'm insulting you.
Right.
And let me take you back to the pages of history, to the journey of history. I'll take you. Start from, I talk about Indian history, and that is where India has been left out, and that is where I'm trying to bring that in the trending fashion industry, being a fashion historian. You see, in our mythologies, in our epic dramas, like Ramayana, Mahabharata, the period of the Vedas, the Aryans, even the Dravid culture, okay, how men were dressed. They had ornaments, literally every part of the body, from the nose to the ear, to the neck, to the hand, okay, bracelet, armlet, everything they wore, right? They wore long flowing attires. They were a kind of a hybrid between, I'll come to the skirts now. They were in flowing drapes. They were in drapes, okay? We consider drapes are only the attire of women. No, the men were wearing that, okay? That is androgyny. Our Hindu gods and goddesses, they are androgyny avatar. Now you see the icon of Srinathji. This is the Krishna's icon in Nathadwara. He is wearing a nath nose ring. He has a braid. He is wearing a flowing skirt, because that was the medieval period's attires implication on that, and that is the Pichwai art style. Pichwai is a medieval period art form, and that time, and medieval, is the influence of Persian culture, Turkish culture, and Afghani culture. What they wore those long flowing skirt togas. They wore those togas, they wore those jackets, they wore those achkans, and they had a flared skirt, which I am using in my shows now. Okay, that was already there. So Srinathji is in a skirt. The men were in that. That time nobody made an opinion ki, oh my God, I don't want to see you like this. And they all wore makeup, kajal, they wore kajal. And every part of the body was, decorated. There was no inhibition, there was no discrimination between male grooming and female grooming. Both concentrated on their grooming. They were well-groomed men. All this was happening in the ancient period, and you come to medieval period, there was influence, like I told you, the Turkish guy. Again, men were in skirts and achkans, and all our Maharajas were what? In skirts, yeah. They were in flowing skirts, pleated skirts, flowing skirts, umbrella cut skirts. Over that, they wore an angraka or a jacket, and then again a doshala. All this they were wearing, okay. That is all nothing but pure and simple androgyny. The British came. We were tried by so many colonial powers. The French tried us, the Dutch tried us, the Portuguese tried us, and finally the English beat all of them and they made us their slaves. When we talk about androgyny or talk about the concept of beautiful men and all, we have forgotten that our men in past were in that, profile. They were like that. We have forgotten that because we have been so much colored by
Modern
the
day
Western,
evolution.
the British, the European, Western culture, that we have forgotten our indigenous culture. We've forgotten that. So that is why it looks odd. So here, my job is, as a designer activist, to bring the lost history in textile designing and makeover designing and styling, to bring it back.
You know, I cannot disagree even one bit in terms of the fashion history that you mentioned, because we have seen representations of those in movies, in books, in various forms of media that we consume. But my question to you is not just based on, like, say, if you could accept that we have a past, right? But you can't accept that we also have moved on to a certain future. Like, unlike you, there are many people as well. You can't have five hands think alike. You can't have five fingers look alike. So if the other person's got an opinion, should that person bury that opinion within himself and not be able to speak up?
I
Especially,
think,
I'm asking this. I'll tell you why.
yeah.
Is because I'm expected as a man. You know, we have been given a certain programming or a certain structure of life as it goes from the time you're born to where we lead, or even for women, for the matter of fact. What's poison to some is treasure to somebody. What's beautiful to some could be ugly to somebody. And by not being able to express my thoughts, I'm also depleting my personality. And if I tell you something, you are also going to feel like you're going to deplete yourself into a certain personality. So we're never going to have this balance of thing. So if I have to say something, I can't say because I'll hurt him. And if I say something, I mean, if I don't say it, I'll hurt myself. So where are we going to go as a society, from your point of view, in terms of experience? Because I believe the fashion industry plays a huge role in terms of because it breaks and brings in new trends. That's the reason why I want to ask you this.
So that is what I'm asking you this question now, and I'm also suggesting you try and understand that person, why that person is in that makeover or that styling. If you understand that person, you will understand everything. So basically, be assimilative, respect diversity. That should be the mantra, even not only in the fashion industry, in your
In anything.
walk of life, you know.
I think what you said sums up pretty much well. When you look at somebody from their shoes, you will know what that person's going
Yes.
through. And that's the
You
reason.
don't know what monsters they are fighting.
Right.
And you don't know what solace they look for. And if they are in that makeover, there must be something that is giving them a peace of mind. So understand them and let them be with that peace.
Right. Completely agree with you on that part. Like, in terms of the fashion sense of it. You are also in this industry where you see a lot of people from different, diverse backgrounds. And when I say backgrounds, identities. I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about languages. I'm talking about people's way of identifying who they are. In today's time, the whole LGBTQ thing that is there today. Someone who's a huge influence of fashion history. You know how the times have changed over time, and you know how people have changed over time, and how people see fashion, and how it's been over the years as well. Well, my question to you with regards to this is, there's a lot of hue and cry about the LGBTQ community today. A lot of people believe it's a sexual preference that people get into it. Some people say that I feel like I'm a woman, I will address myself as a woman. But sometimes, over the whole idea that this was built on, maybe it's become a little too toxic from certain points of view. It's great for a community, but when somebody else looks at it from the outside, it looks more like a group of people who just want to throw hate onto the others, because it's all about love to themselves, but somebody else from the outside cannot talk their opinion out. I just want to understand your thoughts in terms of what it is like for you. Where do you stand with this, and what is it like in today's time as a community?
See, LGBT are beautiful people. Okay? They are beautiful people. They are harmless here. They are harmless. They are not creating war. They are not creating war. They are not killing people mindlessly like it's happening in Israel. You see what kind of mindset those people are having. That is toxic. This is not toxic. This is love. Why can't you accept love? Why cannot you promote it? Why cannot you live and let live? If someone wants to love, What is your problem to bring a barrier there and make that person suffer? Okay? And let me tell you one more thing. Now, in your personality as a male, I see, and in my personality as a female, let me tell you one thing. Each and every personality, whether it's male or female, they are half. That's we call the concept of Ardhanarishwar. You are half female and half male. When you're soft, when you're compassionate, when you're loving, you are female. When you are aggressive, when you show your temper tantrums, or you get into the aggressive mode, and you're more like a male. Or when you have a physical strength to show, you are a male there. So what happens is, at different phases of our time, sometimes we become male in our attitude, sometimes we become female in our attitude. So all that is there in us. Only the thing is, our sexual preferences have not optimized to reach the LGBT level. We are still in that mode.
It's only that one, it's the ruse factor, is what they say, where you have feminine side and the male side.
Exactly.
So the moment so if you're born a male, sometimes you tend to have more of a feminine ability.
Yes.
So I completely agree on what you're saying. You live and let people love and let live as well. My question is more in terms of, I'm a believer. I used to be, let me be very honest about this. I used to be a supporter of the LGBTQ until when you try to understand and see, do you want to learn a little more? But when you want to learn a little more, the other side comes across very strong and pushes you.
Which other side?
Well, I say when I'm having a conversation with someone from the LGBTQ,
Okay.
I understand this trauma that comes,
Okay.
right? Where this comes from. And then there comes in a point where I am talking to somebody and I'm having a conversation in terms of what the country's been like, the situations we're in, big problems are happening. Now, whenever I've conversed with someone from the community, I know these are just few examples and specimens, but it comes across more like the community has its own issues to deal with, right? There are larger issues that they don't care about, but when that is being spoken about, it is only to defend themselves. Like, for example, what you just said. I'm not trying to reiterate what you just said, but this is what has happened. I've had a conversation with somebody in the sense of being a pro-LGBTQ person. I am not saying I'm someone who is against the LGBTQ. I have seen this conversation happen with multiple people who want to take a stand for the LGBTQ, who want to educate themselves. If that was if I was a narrow-minded person, I would not know what an intersectional feminist is, which is down the line in terms of LGBTQs. I would not know what is gender dysphoria is. I would not know what is it like, to transition, why people transition, what are the kind of stages that people go through. These are studies that we've also have done, but we are humans. We are humans because we will falter at times. For example, if you have transitioned from a male to a female, all my life I've known you as Rajesh. Suddenly, it doesn't happen. The change doesn't kick in right away, right, ma'am? Because it takes time for even you to change. You took time to change to the woman. I'm taking time to get adjusted to you being a woman. So these are the things that it comes across when you're from, I don't want to use the word straight. Let me go to how the community addresses and says cisgender, right? Someone who's cisgender comes in and has a conversation. But again, there is a plethora of terms that are being used. A man and a woman. If it's same sex, it's gay, homosexuality, whatever. If it's for the both, it's like bi. Then there comes in pansexual, there comes demisexual. There are words that are coined. People don't study properly. Like I'm saying, in a general sense, to have a balance, I'm saying. People can't study properly. People have enough in drama at home. But somewhere they find, okay, let's support these people. We are going through stuff. Why do we want them also to go through some things? But the moment that person says something, I understand this trauma on the other side, but compassion is how the world runs on. If you are getting hate from someone, is because you are giving hate to someone, is what I believe. So this is what has been the case. I don't know if I've been able to explain to you what the situation is.
I'll tell you something, because, no, I'll tell you. I used this particular statement just a few minutes back. Respect diversity. The problem with our society is, the normal human tendency is, we like people who are like us. Why you want that? We like people, if you are a non-vegetarian, you like people who are non-vegetarian. If they are a vegetarian, you're okay, oh, she's a non-vegetarian, oh my God. These are the few stereotypes that are still existing in the society. My question is, why can't we understand diversity? Why can't we understand that all are not same? Respect them. You humiliate them saying chakka, hijra, ye, wo. I know the way they are treated, yeah. No human being should be treated like that. No human being. There are animal right activists and all who are fighting for the rights of the animals. Yeah, humans are humiliated just because they are different, yeah. You see in every community, these LGBT, the way the trauma of humiliation they go through, this is not needed. It is not needed absolutely. Why this is happening? Because there is lack of awareness and education in the society. The key is education, because they are illiterate people. And I would also say ki if people who are treating these people with inequality and with shame, they are not educated. They are just literate, even if they have some degrees to them. They are not educated. The key is awareness and education and respect for diversity. Live and let live, Baba. Why you want, to judge people and say, oh my God, this person is like this? And no, you have no right to do that. God has made them. On their own, they haven't become, right? God has put in them the feelings of a man feels more like, for example, many of our male designer fraternities, they think like a woman. And let me tell you, if they don't think like a woman, they cannot craft, they cannot create beauty, they cannot create beautiful designs, because a woman's DNA has that. So if a male designer has to have that female DNA in him to understand design, to create design, you have to have that woman in you. Okay? So they are not looked down upon because they have reached some status in the society. See, designers are a very respected, profile in the society because they have made it like that. I'm saying very few are successful, though it's a very harsh reality and a big struggle there to reach on the top. And there are a lot of lobbying that goes. People try to pull you down, and try to monopolize things, and a lot of things like happen that way. So what I'm saying is those designers are appreciated. So why not the normal people are appreciated? I don't understand that. The normal LGBT, I mean, they are not appreciated. Why? Because they don't have a profile. So you have the right to make fun of them. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that.
Can I just say something on this?
Yes.
I'm a dancer as well. So you consider dance an art form, ma'am? I've
Yes.
played female roles. I've danced like a female as well. That doesn't take away the fact that, my preferences are of a certain kind. And of course, some dancers are also, some people who like of someone of the same sex. There's nothing wrong in it, right? There's nothing wrong in dressing up as a certain somebody. I think the society doesn't have a problem with someone being a certain way. What the society, I believe, has a problem with is the way they are addressing the society. For example, if I'm an LGBTQ person, there are hundreds like me. Today, it's not an ideology; it's a propaganda. That's how it's built today. It's come across more like it's a narrative set that they're always being victimized. I'll tell you, I'm standing on the other side, right? Although I want to support this side, but I'm not getting a chance to support this side. The only way I support this side is the transgenders who are on the streets, who don't have a home, the transgenders who are taking care of people without any means, the people who have to leave families, the ones who are in this particular movement. With all due respect to everybody who's part of the LGBT community, I seen one influencer, ma'am, and although it's a small portion, I'm not saying it's built over time. The LGBT community is built over time. One influencer had posted something saying, "What is freedom to you?" Right? Now, everybody has various ways of expressing what freedom to us is. This influencer's story was filled with only stories of women who said they walked out of their homes or walked out of from their marriages. When I say home, again, marriage is completely. So you're building a narrative. There could be freedom to anybody. Are you saying with about close to 600,000 followers, you only had women talking to you about this? When you think about it, there's no balance in what you're trying to tell. And then also it becomes more like a narrative set. This is what it is. It is not just about sexual preference. It's a movement. Great. But the movement is kind of right now looking like it's deviated its direction. You are heading in the right direction to bring about a movement, to educate people. Now, if, for example, I don't know what the community is all about. I have no idea in terms of what are the terms. I know they come from a place where they have to keep telling people who they are, what they are. But what has this person done? He doesn't know anything. And also, there could be people who take time to understand or get acquainted with the terms that come by with this particular community. Now, for them to address them quickly won't be easy. They need to get used to that whole format. So, if you don't give them that window or a space, it doesn't happen. And they act very repulsive against people, and that's when people go on the back foot and don't tend to expect to even talk to or have a conversation. And also, in terms of ideologies, I'll tell you, I used to have some people who were interns with me long back in my previous employers, where we were talking about issues across the country. Their problems were the government should give subsidy to people who want to have sex change operation. Now, you are the same people who talk about doing something for the better, for the society. You're all about love. And this was hardcore aggressive thing. Now, somewhere, there's an identity about queer people. Now, again, I'd like to say this, that I'm not against the LGBTQ, but I'm against the way it's been portrayed out today. These people, they say they're not man or woman. Fair enough, be whatever you want. But there's a lot of youngsters who are being brainwashed into this sort of an ideology. I'm not saying they're fine or they're not fine. When I say they're being brainwashed, in the name of empathizing with somebody else's life, they end up being a support to the community. And over there, they're struggling to identify to be a man or a woman or a intersectional feminist or this or that. Now, it's as simple as you Googling certain symptoms of what you feel on Google, like, medical issues or something. And because you think you have an itch, you have a psoriasis. Because you think you have a little bit of a uncomfy feeling by your chest, you think you have a heart attack or a gas effect. Now, these are things that happen. Have you come across this or you ever been facing sort of a disparity with the community, because you deal with a lot of them in this space?
See, a lot of makeup artists, the makeup artists, they belong to this community. And we have had only a professional relation with them. Now, this particular aspect that you spoke about, that they are asking for, your ex, intern was voicing their opinion about, the government should give subsidy, for their sex change and all. I think this is absolutely a baseless demand. Government has got a whole lot of other problems to handle, and the biggest problem is to bring people from the poverty line,
Yeah.
to bring them out of that poverty line. I think they need subsidy. Then the people who are going for a sex change, what you are doing sex change is a very much of your personal.
It's a personal thing.
It's a very personal requirement, right? So I think it is a very absolutely nonsensical.
I hope I'm not, saying this to just get you on to thinking like what I'm saying.
I agree. There are a lot of things I don't agree. There are a lot of things I agree. What I agree is, yes, they need to have freedom. They need to be recognized. They should be respected. But if they go, disrespectful, if they have been treated badly in past and all, they have no business to act aggressive with other people who are trying to understand them. So they also have to come to a middle path and understand the society. The society, of course.
We're not living in an age-old regressive environment
Exactly.
anymore, ma'am. We're living in a very
Exactly.
progressive environment where people are receptive. Yes, there are certain parts where people still think very narrow-minded.
Yes.
I'm not going to deny that. But you can't expect to play victim and blame the entire world is against
True.
you. That's not true.
True. So they need to also rethink on themselves, reflect on them, that where they are going wrong. But yeah, I'm all for them. I support them. And but yes, they also need to have a lot of concern for the society they live in.
Agreed. And I won't say I'm for them right now. I was for them. Right now I'm in middle ground until I think a lot of people who would find a little bit of a connection. If there's a hand reached out, is only when you will reach your hand out. But right now it looks like
Exactly.
there's a finger that's shown from the other side.
Exactly,
So.
that what happened to me. See, me being a designer activist, let me tell you, I wanted to bring them into the limelight, showcase their profile in a beautiful manner, in a fantastic crafted manner where I could curate something for them and do a pageant for them. and they would be so proud of their profile. I wanted to give them that place in the society. And for that, my associate also had approached an LGBT group, and we had given them a proposal also, but they never replied. So when we reach out for a hand, they also should hold our hand.
Yeah.
If they want to, for their betterment, to tell the society that they are also have pride in their profile, they should also hold the hand that is trying to help them out to do that.
This is very difficult to put it across, because when you meet people from the community, there are two different kinds of thoughts in terms of where they progressed. So one is like, we don't need the world needs us. So that way,
Oh,
what I
really?
mean to say is that some of them believe that they just want us because they want to get publicity.
Oh my
Right?
God.
And there is a world that says, there's still a lot more improvement to be done. There's still a lot to be done. And there is one more kind of people who believe in both, like basically people who contradict what they're saying by themselves. Now, when you have such kind of a thing, where are you standing exactly? You would need to tell the world, are you there where you want to be? Or are you yet to get to where you want to be? So questions are going to be raised because everything is in like a cloud. It's confusing for people.
See, I'll tell you, today is, if they're talking about publicity, today is the publicity ka zamana. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, they're all publicity. They're all publicity machines, right? So what publicity they're talking about? Yeah, everyone, even someone, sorry to use a word, even if they were visiting a washroom, I don't want to use that slang, okay? They want to click a picture and, hey, I visited a washroom, okay? They go to a restaurant, even one cup of tea or any dish that they click a picture and put it in Instagram. What is that? That is publicity. That is every breath they breathe, they want publicity for that. So what publicity these people are talking about? They need publicity, yeah? If they want to improve themselves, they need publicity. They need publicity in the positive light. So they should not shy away from that. So I think it's a very quirky mindset if they're saying that people need them for publicity. No. We have other work also to do. We have a whole lot of work for women empowerment. And also, I also had a concept of, doing something for men. Not all men, let me tell you one thing, not all men are brutal.
Yeah.
Most men are not. Most men are not. Most men are victimized. Most men are victims of the torture they go through, the women of their lives. Let me tell you that. The women in their lives have been very cruel to them. So those men also need publicity from us. We are designer activists. We give them publicity in the positive light. So if the LGBT community thinks that we are doing for publicity, sorry. It's a very wrong thought process. Nobody can help them then.
Again, just to correct this, let's just say it's a case-to-case difference. It's not like everybody is like that, because I don't want to coin an entire community based on what one person or two people say. But again, it's a collective of 30 to 40% of who believe in a certain formality, certain way that this goes by. But that is, like I keep telling everyone, it's an ideal world we will never have. Like you respecting
True,
me
you
and I
don't
respecting
have, you can't get a utopia.
Yeah. So there's got to be some sort of a balance that we as humans need to find, not quarrel around and beat around to each other's thoughts. Oh, you're wrong. You I will cancel you out social media. Like, I know I might get cancelled for what I'm talking about, because at the end of the day, this is a dialogue that needs to be done.
Yes.
Only for the fact that not because I want to educate people, but because someone needs to steer the ship.
Let me also tell you one more thing, which is the sad thing that is happening. The people from LGBT, I'm talking mainly about hermaphrodites. I'm talking about them.
If you could just tell us what hermaphrodites are.
They are all those hijras you see on the signal lights.
Why would you call them hermaphrodites and not the ones in the modeling?
They are born. They are born with that.
Okay, but what about the ones because people...
What
is like being born with it and thing? Just to ask you.
See, you are born a neuter gender.
Okay.
They are called hijras.
Okay.
That is hermaphrodites. They're neither male nor female.
It's more like the feeling of within. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Or biologically?
Biologically,
You mean their genitals are not there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Their genitals are neither male nor female.
Okay.
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 They're neuter genders. Okay. So we call them hermaphrodites. These people, now my question is to the government and to all the industries and the companies. Why you cannot employ them? Why are you not employing them? Why are they seen on the streets and begging? And that's become a big mafia and a propaganda. Many males also will dress up like women, and you can't make out the difference between how do you identify this is the original one and this is the fake one? No, right? So this is what is happening. They are forced to do that. They are forced to. Do you know that sexually they are abused in the night by those men?
Yeah.
They come and they have to also, how much they earn? One night, 200 rupees, 300 rupees. Go in a bush somewhere in some shady joint. You never know how they are being abused there, yeah? You never know that. So what is this? Is this humanity? Why government is not giving them employment is my question. Why these people are not recognized by the government? If they have this, sustenance of employment, you think they will recourse to this kind of dancing and begging? No, they will not.
I am against what the government has been doing or whatever in terms of for a certain society or a community, like you say, the hermaphrodites. Let me say there have been cases where the government has approached the community heads of sorts, but they were not liking to get to a certain job of sorts because some of them are okay and comfortable in doing what they were doing, but some of them wanted a job. There have been people who've been employed in metro stations. I'm sure you are in Kochi.
Every company, I don't know whether they have it. Maybe some have it. I'm saying all should have a quota for them.
Agreed.
Rather than having for SC, ST. Instead of having for SC, ST, have for these people.
Okay.
SC, ST, what reservations you have? SC, ST are no more downtrodden people. The government should have reservation for people who are financially downtrodden. Financially downtrodden, whether they're SC, ST, whether they're general category or any category. Basically, it should be financial downtrodden should have the quota.
The acceptance to change the whole system is something that will take a long time to debate. But as you mentioned about if the government has done something, the government has done. Karnataka was the first state in the country to notify a 1% reservation in the government jobs for transgender people.
Very good.
Okay, and this is not, you can say, okay, 1%, what's the big deal? I said, there is a start somewhere. If you're looking at a 12 crore population, and if you say transgender is hardly 1% of that, so I think that's quite a justifiable amount.
Yes.
And you can't question the government on that. But if you still see people on the roads, it's not because the government is not doing anything, but it's because of a choice of their own. And I'm not saying everybody's like that, ma'am, because...
So you mean to say they like to be abused, huh?
Not abused.
They like to be sexually abused in the night.
I'm not saying the choice of being sexually abused. I'm saying the choice of being on the streets to make quick money by begging. I'm not going down the sexually abused road. Some of them do it with the choice of going and sleeping with customers or clients that they want to. And I kid you not, I did a social awareness campaign with regards to AIDS when I was at another employer earlier in the night, and I went about meeting only transgenders. And through the night, it is only the transgenders who are there at these particular junctions on the MG Road. Or rather, were there. This is what I'm talking about in 2015. So you cannot say that the government has not done anything. Yes, the government has taken its time to do something. But it's again the choice. If the government is saying, I'm going to give 1% quota of people from this particular belt to come and join this job. And the job may be something you don't like. But it's a choice of mine to go or not. The government is not dragging you and forcing you. So it's my choice. Do I want to go or not to go? Whether that is a good job or bad job, but it is at least a start to what my conditions are at this point in time. So that is what I'm trying to say. The government does. I mean, I'm saying
the government is doing. I think they should do more counseling to them.
Maybe that could help.
They should bring in more awareness, more counseling. Because if you get a job, if you get a decent job, not only you sustain yourself financially, you also sustain your emotional makeup,
But I guess, ma'am, when this kind of a conversation comes in, like say when the government is introducing a scheme like this, I am sure the heads of the community are sat together on a table, given equal importance like everybody else, and are run through and given counseling to people who are members of the community too. Because without that, they won't get educated about this opportunity. And I'm sure they do have knowledge about this. But again, I would still say it's an individual choice of you wanting to do something or not wanting to do something. That's my point of view. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't mind getting proven wrong. But what I'm scared and still I would say not scared of, because I know I'm really scared of getting cancelled out. This is what is very important in today's time, because people are scared to have an opinion. Now you're scared to have an opinion against the government. You're scared to have an opinion against the social media construct. You're scared to have an opinion against what you want to say, because then what are you even living in this world, just biting yourself in for?
I'm not scared.
I'm glad you're not.
I'm
because
not scared. I don't see. I'll tell you one thing. Why I'm not scared? Because I'm not bothered if people criticize me, if people don't understand my work. Okay, let me tell you, I was the first one in the country to make headgears trending.
Right.
That is some. I'm talking about 2002. I started my career in designing, and let me tell you another thing. I'm not a trained designer. I'm trained to be a professor in a college, but I'm not trained to be a designer. I'm a self-taught person. So all that art and all that, those creativity comes from my mind. I don't copy anyone. I don't follow anyone. I don't go and see anybody's fashion show. I create my own stuff. You like it, you don't like it, is your call. You like it, lovely. You don't like it, okay, I move on. It does not matter. I should like my work. That is what I am not. That is why I'm not worried about people's opinion. Initially, people used to make fun. अरे क्या तरबूज लगा के सर पे जा रहे हैं, ये क्या गमला लगा दिया. They used to make fun because see what happens in an education institute. I was surrounded by professors, teachers. I won't say teachers are very progressive minded. They know their subject. They know their subject very well. But the other, the areas of life, they don't have an open mind. Sorry to say that, because I come from that background. Very regressive. If a student is wearing a short dress, okay, a knee length, that becomes an objection. You have to cover your body. Why? Why you have to judge people for what you are wearing? No, you should judge the person on the personality that person has, not that person, what that person is wearing. So this was they used to make fun of me. They used to make fun of my work. And even in shows. Are ye kya? Today, let me tell you, people follow me. People call me as mentor to the fashion institutes, to give them, the gyan, to motivate the students, Why? Because I didn't have that fear factor. I don't care for anybody's opinion. You like me or don't like me, it's okay. I'm not on a publicity thing, everyone should like. And let me tell you, in Instagram or Facebook, even if I get one like also, I'm happy. If I get 2,000 likes also, I'm happy. It does not
finding
affect
comfort
me.
in whatever comes.
Yes, I'm cool. I'm cool. Today, if I have fan following and all, I didn't ask for it.
It happened.
They come, and I, of course, respect them. They respect my work. But I have no expectations from them. But they love my work.
I'm sure so when they say, you have 10,000 followers, but 10,000 followers didn't come over one day or a week or
and let
a year.
me tell you, this follower business, okay? I find it a lot of scam going on there. There are a lot of these pseudo followers, okay? Which you pay money and get followers and all. That scam is. So honestly, I'll tell you something. I'm not impressed by followers. Followers, this syndrome which is there, I'm not impressed.
I know, I understand.
I have only genuine followers. I don't want to waste my money to get followers. My money is precious. Another thing I want to also tell you on this particular, what is the scam that is happening in the industry? People are buying awards. There are people who get every other day one award. I don't know where they're keeping those awards, because I know I have 3 sackfuls of award in my studio. I don't know where to place them, and this I have not been getting very frequently. Okay, once in a while I've been getting, but that itself I'm finding it so difficult to shelf them and store them. The problem is here, anyone is buying an award. When I was nominated for one of the awards, they're asking me, you nominate yourself. I said, how do I nominate myself? You should nominate me, no, if I deserve it or not. Then that person understood. Then I get a call. I got nominated for that award. I get a call. Ma'am, how much you paid them? I said, paid for what? To get that award. I said, let me tell you one thing. Even if they had approached me for the money, I would have told them, give me the money, you take the award. I don't want the award. So this is what I'm trying to say.
I mean,
This is trending. People are paying. People are paying. If I want to give you award, give me 10K. I'll give you one certificate. I'll give you one
it's
tashtari. I'll
all
give
a
you.
social media game. So
So you understand?
Yeah.
So fake, so virtual, so pseudo. I don't follow all that. I don't follow all that. Even some of my pictures that are not really properly edited and all, I post it.
Right.
Because that is natural. That is what I have. That is what I had created at that time when I didn't have a good camera, and it was created like that.
Right.
I don't have any shame. Ki, oh my God, if I post this kind of unedited thing, how it will be? It's okay. You like it. You like it. You don't like it. Don't like it. It's okay.
Fair enough. Also, I know where this comes from. This stems out because of how competitive that industry is and how competitive it is to be relevant on the gram for a lot of people. So everyone's wanting validation by getting these awards. So we will not go down that road because that I'm sure that doesn't make any sort of a difference in your life because you're doing quite well already.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make any difference, to me, because first of all, it is for any designer to do a corporate show is very tough, because corporate criterias, corporate their what you say requirements, their specifications. They're very particular on that. No nonsense. So if you have made a name in the corporate world, you are a very successful designer.
Right.
Nowadays, we are not having much of these professional model shows and all that, because all this e-commerce things have taken,
Right.
the shoot thing and all. So the glamour of a proper ramp and all is all gone. It's all gone. See how the time is changing.
Yeah.
It's only shoot-based work now. Only couture work. Nobody is doing an haute couture show and all that. So I released that, my quest for creativity in my corporate shows.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to do some work where I'll involve professional models also. I'm trying for that. So
But do you think India is a great market for couture?
India is a great market for couture, yes.
Okay, couture.
But,
I'll correct myself.
Yeah, but India is not a great market for haute couture.
Okay, like high fashion, you mean?
High fashion. Why? Because people take time to understand. India is still in its infancy. We are still in lehenga. We are still in lehenga and choli thing. Talking about, the different styles, the biases and the cuts. You see East Asian countries where they have reached in styling. Where they have reached in styling. Where are we? We have to go a long way.
But also it's because of a choice, no, ma'am. Because
and
that's a
another
market choice you made.
What is rampant in the society? In the marriage market, like they want a fair girl, they want a thin girl, they want a beautiful girl. Okay, it doesn't matter how the groom is. Okay, so vice versa, it goes like that, right? So what is happening there? Racialism is happening. That is skin shame is happening. Okay, body shaming is happening. And another thing is the age shaming. Now, if you are advanced in your age and if you are trying to do something which a youth feels that person has got the prerogative to do that, and that other person is doing who is little advanced in age, oh no, you can relax, you can sit. Why you want to do this? Okay, you are doing everything. How you are managing? So these are unnecessary comments. When that person's body and mind is allowing that, okay, what is your problem? Why are you showing extra concern? Extra concern is nothing. It is shaming you, telling you all the time, boss, you are old, sit at home. This is what it's trying to say. So,
I just want to add to that. I don't think it's coming across. Maybe it comes across anyone irritating. It comes across to that. But I think even all of us at our age, when we look at seniors, I don't want to mention people who are aged. I'm saying seniors, whether it's our parents or people who are elder than us. The only reason we end up doing that is we are concerned. We care for them. And yes, it kind of can get a little irritating, like how my dad keeps calling me, and if you eat, that's the care and concern. I will eat when I have to eat. I can't tell him that. And I don't think people mean to age shame me, but I think that is more of a concern and care.
Maybe some people have genuine concern. Some people want to tick you off. There are many like that.
I'm sure you can identify those
yes.
with the way they taunt you.
Who will gossip about you? Who will bitch about you? On your face, they will be very nice, and this is a very common thing of a fashion industry. on in front they are all honeydew and all, and at the back they are like those venoms, the most toxic venom, even that cobra will be shamed for that. So this is what happens in our, and to survive in this industry, let me tell you one thing, is a huge challenge.
Hence why it is how it is, because if the industry is demands to be like that, I'm not saying it is, but maybe because of that is why it's been portrayed the way it is. But more than that, I think the concern today is about how, see, like the question that we were talking about, age shaming, fat shaming, and body shaming and everything. I think I'm okay with finding any model for a model material purpose. Like, watching an advertisement with a model material, I'm okay with it. I don't want to say, oh, I'm black, I need to see another guy who's black in that video. I believe there should be someone who's more fat, or why don't you do something like that? I'm okay with it. And if I'm okay with it, people are okay with it. I don't think the other people should have a third party. When my friend is of a certain kind and I'm a certain kind, we're having our own banter. We know how we respect each other. But a third person should come in and poke their nose in and,
Exactly.
try and put their point in. Because in the name of trying to educate, you're destroying the fabric of not just us, but the fabric of what the society is. People, as humans, I think we are meant to be better. We will get better. But don't police around people.
See, I'll tell you, the medias like the cinema media and basically the social media and obviously the fashion media, here, it can be full of, it's basically an awareness machine. For example, films, you see, the films. Now, what is the trend happening? You tell me the trend. And it is so funny. I mean, it's so ridiculous, rather. The hero, okay, can be a 56-year-old guy or a 60-year-old guy, but heroine they prefer is 34-year-old, okay, as good to be this daughter or granddaughter, okay. Why this discrimination? And why you want a fair heroine? Why can't you have a dark heroine? This is the syndrome I don't understand.
This I completely
And
accept.
why one old man can be a hero and one old woman can't be a heroine? Why? 40 years you are retired. In film industry, you touch 40 years, the female artist is retired. Why? What kind of discrimination is this? Why this is happening? Mindset change. It should be a mindset change.
Mindset
time.
change, I agree. Also, I don't know if you would say yes to this, or if whoever's watching would say yes to this. When I notice, people who are above 40, they either end up doing a strong women-centric role, or they end up doing like a mother's role or like a sister's role, but they don't end up doing like the role that they used to do when they were like probably 10 years before.
Yeah, why?
Days.
But the male can do, right?
It is the superstardom status that has been sitting on the male. I don't want to say it, but it is like a male-dominated society.
Change it, change it. You need to say, you need to change. You need not fear. It's okay. People will criticize you. Doesn't matter. Laugh and move on. I mean, you can always say, "Kiare, this guy will take another 20 years to come to my."
But what you're saying, ma'am, you're saying
my level.
You're talking more in sense of Bollywood. If you look down south, darker women are being preferred for roles.
No,
they're
all North Indian heroines rampant over there.
There are cases that there are people who are preferred.
All those Tamanna Bhatiyas and all of them, what are they?
I agree. They are preferred. I'm not saying no, but there are changes that are happening. I mean, if you would look at it 10 years ago, you would not say the case is there.
See, in fashion industry, I prefer a dark. I would prefer a darker.
Can I become a model, ma'am?
You can. Why not? I said anyone can model. I said that. What did I say? See, the problem is, I'll tell you, I want to take them as models, the darker ones. The client does not allow. And the client does not allow where I get my money.
Right.
So I'm stuck. You understand?
Are you saying somewhere the client it's become more of a, what do you say? It's not a fashion parade. There's a word that they use somewhere. It's more like showing human specimens of a higher grade. Is that what it is? More like when you say the ramp walk that you have for your fashions.
You're not.
Models
you're not talking. No. When you are talking about ramping, you are not showing. You are.
No, I'm not talking about you as a person.
No. I'm telling you, when the models walk, you forget them as individuals. They are cloth horses. They are clothing hangers. You understand? You forget that they are human. They are not humans. They are clothing hangers. That's it. That's why internationally you see The models will have just a stark expression because we don't need expressions. See, there are two types of show direction that is needed. One is entertainment. There you can do a lot of nakaras and adas and attitude and laugh, smile and all that. But when it comes to hardcore showcasing your design in front of dealers, you need a stark face.
Right.
You don't even need a smiling face because nobody will look at your face. Everyone is looking at what you're wearing. That is primary what you're wearing. So you are a hanger. You are not a human. So I think I've answered you that question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is where the thing goes. So even if you want to bring a change, we are handicapped. You can't bring mongoloid-looking models. What kind of thinking is this? That is the reason Northeast today is so. I feel so sad for that culture. I was the one who created designs on Northeastern textiles and weaving 15 years back. Amazing textiles they have. They do it all handloom it is, but nobody. And if you see Northeastern people, they have a huge sense of styling,
Yeah.
which the normal Indians, mainstream Indians will not. Why they are not accepted? Even they don't want to come in.
Let's just correct that. Northeast Indians, yes, and we don't want to call ourselves mainstream Indians. Let's just say we're central land Indians. That's about it. Because when we say Northeast Indians and mainstream Indians, it becomes like a debatable.
No, not debatable. I'm telling you, that is what's happening in the society. I have taught in a college. I know it. The Northeastern students had their own groups. The other students, they had their own group. They never mingled. Very few mingled. I'm just talking about what's happening.
No, I'm just correcting it for you.
I'm
so you don't get called out.
I'm giving you a reality check. What is happening? Why this discrimination is happening? Why can't you accept them? Why can't you make them models and make them walk? Why can't you accept their textiles? Explore. India is a treasure trove of textiles.
Yeah.
And that is where I come in. I bring in the textiles and the craft of the tribals of India. I have done a lot of work with the Lambanis of Karnataka,
Rajasthan
and Andhra Pradesh. They have their tandas there. Tandas are their stations.
Right.
Then the Banjaras are there. Then there are a whole lot of your indigenous Karnataka tribals are also there. I'm exploring them. And I want to bring their textiles into the forefront. I did a show in Srirangapatna that Mysore Dasara I did. And there I was so surprised to know, which the commissioner there to gave us that textile, the saris. Those are called Srirangapatna saris. I had never come across that kind of textile. I was like so happy that I'm initiated into this. So much is there to explore, So this is where we have to bring our Indian textile culture and give it an international feel. Not a desi look. You have to give it an international look. Only then you will be accepted in the society. But in my case, I'm doing all that. But where I'm getting stuck is because of financial issues.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a rich designer. If I was a rich designer, I would be sitting in Milan today.
Well, we only hope that happens someday.
Thank you. Even if it doesn't happen, chalega, I am happy. I'm happy with my work.
We all have dreams and ambitions that
Yes.
we want to pursue.
Yeah.
Some fulfill, some stay, some remain without
Yes,
getting there.
yes.
So, but all I could wish is, somewhere you get to achieve what you want to achieve. And you've already been quite inspiring to a lot of women in the industry, and I hope you will end up inspiring a lot more on the go. Just on one more stance, what is up in the pipeline for Shilpi Choudhury up next?
I want to do more work with men, beautiful men.
Am I beautiful, ma'am?
You are.
Okay.
I can make you more
Validation.
beautiful.
Thank you for the
In my
validation.
makeover, in my attire, I can make you more beautiful.
Okay.
You will be so proud of yourself. And that is what happens in the corporate industry. They are like people like you. And when they do the show, they don't look like corporate employees. They look like models.
Right.
Yeah. So a lot of work with, and yes, the another thing that I'm working, I want to do more work on is Met Gala, coming out with more, work on that. So
I'm going to get my 6-packs back just to walk the ramp for you. Hopefully someday.
You need not have 6
No, I want to get it back.
You want to.
Want to
But
get it
I'm
back.
not, I don't want you to. It's okay. My clothes will do the justice.
Okay.
My clothes will camouflage it in such a way that there will be no, don't need a 6-pack
Okay.
to walk
fine.
the ramp.
Fine. I'll look forward to that day when I could walk the ramp for the first time. But Shilpi ma'am, thank you so much for coming by. And a knowledge of fashion, a knowledge of fashion history is something that I got today. And also, I was so glad that someone so senior from the industry could, exchange my ideas as well. Like in terms of a certain community. Because I believe you probably did that because even you would have had an experience, or maybe you thought somehow I was probably making sense from the other side. And I love the kind of creations you make, and I know I'm definitely looking forward to the ramp walk though. But
Definitely. I'll be waiting.
I'm ready.
I'll be waiting.
I'm just waiting for that call. But anyway, ma'am, it's again pleasure, and may you go on to make a lot more men feel beautiful, a lot of men feel more powerful, because I'm sure you already make a lot of women feel powerful, and I wouldn't say useful, but I'd say inspiring. So thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolute
It was
pleasure.
lovely. I learned so much from you. So many things I didn't know that I learned from you. And you have done a fantastic homework for today with my profile. And let me also compliment you on this, that you know quite a bit
Okay.
for your age.
Okay.
So
How old do you think I am?
no age shaming.
No, but it's okay. I don't mind.
Huh?
I don't mind.
Okay,
it's
I'll tell you. 36.
Not bad. Just one more. You just maybe 1 year older, but that's not bad. Because usually people say I'm 25, 26. Not bad. That's really good. That means you know people very well.
No, because I deal with models.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I'll tell you what happens. The models will come in front and they'll fake their height.
Haha.
A girl, a female model, she'll be 5'3", but she'll say she's 5'5".
Huh.
One look, I will tell you are not. You are 5'3". And by your, the dimension of your body, I can guess your size.
Okay.
So all that is there. Your age also, I can, because we study models. So-
I think I should take an apprenticeship with you.
Nice.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You just opened out quite a lot for me. Absolute pleasure again. Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.